The python, like many predators, hunts in the dark. It has sensors in its snout that detect whether prey is nearby. The python uses bondage as a second weapon after gripping victims with its jaws in a two-pronged attack. The python's grip on the springbok tightens with each extension. As the python tightens its grip, each breath becomes shallower until death by strangulation occurs. Right now, the jaws are putting on a show. Rather than chewing or dismembering their prey, pythons consume it whole, beginning with the head. After this python has one of the largest stomachs ever seen, and it can go a year without eating. Number 12, python versus monkey. These adult monkeys are constantly on the lookout for potential threats. One of their most lethal threats is also one of their most elusive. Its massive camouflaged body blends into the leaf litter. Warm-blooded prey is detected by the snake. Indian pythons can grow to be up to 16 feet long and can easily swallow an entire monkey. The python is aware that food is nearby and waits until the time is right. The snake wraps its muscular body around its prey until it suffocates and swallows it whole. Number 11, anaconda versus cow. Because this snake is so hungry, it decides to attack a cow. That's right, consider how the snake drags the cow out of its corral and clings to its leg. Is this something that you imagine could happen? The person filming decides to stop for reasons I don't understand. A live young cow is being devoured by this massive anaconda. As seen in the video, it all begins with the head. I know snakes can open their mouths wide, but a cow is massive. It will take months for the snake to digest such a massive animal, but you'll know it's done when the cow's leg tips enter the snake's body. This snake causes havoc when it tries to suffocate another cow. This cow, on the other hand, refuses to accept its predicament and easily frees itself from the grip of the snake and flees. Number 10, snake versus lion. There aren't many videos where snakes face off against lions, but this is one of them. A massive python lunges at a lion cub, but the young lion is agile and maneuvers around the python, looking for the best spot to strike. They are caught in a fight to the death when the lion decides to engage. A few more members of the pride arrive and attack the snake to assist their friend. Number 9, python versus dog. I'm not sure how frequently stray or wild dogs meet pythons, but this dog appears to be in danger in this video. This python has wrapped its entire body around it, suffocating it. The dog is temporarily released from the python's clutches, but only for a few seconds, before the python reclaims it. This brave dog begins biting at the serpent incessantly until the python lets go of the dog, who then manages to flee. I honestly did not expect this outcome. Number 8, black mamba versus rat. This rat is completely unaware he's in grave danger and continues to move around the venomous snake, even stepping on it, while the snake waits for the perfect moment to strike. Once he strikes and the venom takes effect, the rat is promptly devoured. When a snake notices a small rodent moving around, it goes in search for a food. When the snake detects the rodent is close by, it enters the rodent's den and searches for it. The snake slithers into the underground burrow of the rodent and grabs it. Rodents aren't even safe at home when they're minding their own business. Number 7, python versus leopard. When a hunt fails, a leopard returns home and calls her youngster, but there is no response. Something isn't quite right. In less than a second, the leopard recognizes the assassin, an African rock python. As she pursues her cub's assailant, the female leopard jeopardizes her own life. The leopard is undeterred as the python hides among the thorns. Her perseverance pays off in the end. After the injured python moves, the leopard is ready for the next round. She waits until the python emerges from the cave. But there isn't a brawl. A built-in reflex forces the snake to forego its well-earned meal. When a python is under duress, it regurgitates its meal to shed excess weight and make a quick escape. The leopard has abandoned her attack and discovered her dead cub, which the python had left behind. The leopard mourns her cub. Number 6, anaconda. This anaconda is crushing a crocodile, and there is no way for the crocodile to escape. The snake is massive and has completely encircled the crocodile. The crocodile is not small either. This anaconda packs a powerful punch. The green anaconda is known as the world's heaviest snake. They can grow to be 25 feet long and weigh more than 300 pounds. Anacondas spend almost all their time in and around water to maintain their mass. Because it is disguised to blend in with plant-choked water, this snake usually waits for prey to come to it. Snakes with eyes and nostrils on top of their heads can stay underwater for extended periods of time while waiting for prey. On this flooded plain, the capybara, the world's largest rodent, which can weigh more than 100 pounds, coexists with the anaconda. Because aquatic plants account for a large portion of the capybara's diet, they spend a lot of time near water, making it an ideal anaconda hunting habitat. It can stalk underwater without being noticed by extending its head long enough to assess distance. It's just sitting there, doing nothing. It strikes, encircling the massive rodent with 6 rows of fangs. There's no way out of this predicament. Anacondas do not use venom to kill their prey. They suffocate their prey by preventing blood flow to the heart, resulting in cardiac arrest. When the heart stops beating, they start eating their meal whole, toes and all. Their jaws, elastic ligaments, and flexible joints assist them in accomplishing this. An anaconda lurks in a waterhole, ready to pounce on anything edible. A few birds flit about, but is this what the anaconda desires? A caiman swims by, oblivious to the snake's presence. The caimans leap from the water before being ambushed, but one is too slow and is swallowed by the snake. Number 5. Snake versus mouse. This snake must be in heaven. His tank is full of white mice, which he is devouring one by one. This looks more like a scene from a horror film than a feeding session. The mice are terrified, and they are all huddled together in one corner of the tank because they know what is going to happen to them sooner or later. Rats and mice are a tasty part of a snake's diet, and this rat ran into the wrong snake on his way to work. He had his lunchbox and his favorite work uniform on, but the snake didn't seem to care. This little guy was grabbed by a black mamba and swallowed for breakfast. There was no need for raspberry jam or bread. Because the rat was so young, authorities issued an Amber Alert only to discover that the snake had already devoured the victim. Number 4. Anaconda enters pig pen. This anaconda approaches the sleeping pig and easily snatches it. The pig thinks it's having a nightmare, but the truth is it's being swallowed by a python. This dead pig is being swallowed face first by this anaconda. At least the snake killed it before. An anaconda enters a pig pen and devours a small pig. The pig doesn't move and it doesn't look like it's breathing, so I'm assuming it's already dead. This snake is going to enjoy this meal. Number 3. Python versus rabbit. This adorable white rabbit is the Burmese python's lunch, and after missing its first strike, the snake strikes again and kills the poor rabbit. It must be expensive to constantly feed live rabbits to your pet snake. This snake hasn't eaten in a month, so I'm sure it'll be overjoyed to taste this rabbit. The rabbit is strangled, killed, and devoured head first. In the early morning, an African rock python coils around the feeder rabbit and crushes it to death. This Burmese python strikes quickly and coils around this small white rabbit. It's time to feed the snake, and what could be more delicious than a beautiful white bunny rabbit? Number 2. Python versus king cobra. The python and the king cobra are 2 of the world's largest and deadliest reptiles. Pythons are non-venomous constrictors, whereas the king cobra is known for its lethal toxin. Furthermore, pythons are frequently larger, longer, and have better camouflage, whereas king cobras are far more agile. Throughout most of the fight, it appears the cobra will